Hello friend, I am Naval. You are watching Code with Naval. Welcome to Java series part 65. In the last video we saw thread naming. In this video we are going to discuss about thread pool. So let's first understand what is the use of thread pool and where exactly we use a thread pool. Java thread pool create a group of worker threads that are waiting for the job and thread reuse many time. Here we can simply create a group, thread group, similar thread group, and we can reuse that thread group. Thread pool create a group of fixed size thread, or it can be create a dynamic thread size. A thread inside the thread pool, it's pulled out and assigned a job by the service provider. Here we use a service provider. That service provider simply pull out one thread and assign that thread job. After completing that job, thread is initiate again this thread pool. Okay. After completing that job, thread again go inside a thread pool. Thread pool provide a better performance. It save time because there is no need to create a new thread every time. Here we simply create here we create a multiple thread inside a thread pool, and we can reuse those thread for a multiple task, for a multiple job. Once thread create, it will not die until all queue tasks finish. Here you can see this one is a queue, and inside this queue have a multiple task. It can be 100, it can be 1 lakh task. Okay, until and unless those all tasks not complete, this thread pool not finish. This inside this thread pool, whatever thread, those thread will not die. Okay, let's see this real life example, thread pool real life example. Here we have a one task, wedding invitation card wrapping task, and here we have 4 people. Okay, let's consider this wedding invitation wrapping is one task. Okay, here 100 wedding invitation we have to wrap. That means we have 100 tasks, 100 similar tasks, and here we have 4 people, those doing that task. That means here we have 4 thread. Okay, here you can see here these 4 people one after another wrap this card. Okay, let's consider for wrapping one card it take 1 minute. Okay, if single person do this work, then this single person take 100 minute. If this 4 person do this work, that means this work finish in 25 minutes. Okay, here simply you can assume here these 4 people, here we don't call new people, for wrapping a single task. Here we already set these 4 people, and we already told these 4 people we have to wrap this total 100 card. Okay, these first people take one card, and this second people also, third people and fourth people who's finish their wrapping card, then that person take a second task. Okay, that their second task. Okay, in this process continuously till this all card not finish. Okay, so here we can simply say, instead of calling new person, here we simply reusing those person. Here we have a 4 person, we are simply reusing this 4 person for completing this 100 tasks. Okay, here you can see here this 100 wrapping card means here our blocking queue. Okay, this 100 wrapping card here, those 100 wrapping cards in our blocking queue. And this thread pool, inside thread pool means this is our thread group. Okay, thread pool, or we can say thread group. Okay, inside this thread pool, here we have a thread 1, thread 2 and 3 and 4. This 4 person means our thread 4 thread. This 4 person doing a one after another work. Here we can simply understand, here we are not calling new person for doing this work. Here we are simply reusing this person. The same thing here, we are simply reusing this thread. We are not creating a new thread. We are not calling a new person. Okay, here we simply understand thread pool. We are using a thread pool for reusing that thread again and again until and unless not finish this all task. Okay, here you can see thread pool provide 4 types. Here total 4 types we have in a thread pool: fixed thread pool, then cache thread pool, and then here you can see scheduled thread pool, and then single thread pool. Okay, let's see one by one. First, fixed thread pool. Here we pass a fixed number of thread. Here we create a provided number of thread for execute queue task. Here you can see in this example, here we have a fixed number of person. Here we have only 4 people who are doing this 100 tasks. Okay. Here we are not increasing person, neither not a decreasing person. Here we have a 4 fixed person for doing this 100 tasks. Okay. That means here we are using a fixed thread pool. Then we have a cache thread pool. Here thread creator depend on a requirement. If thread is already created and it's not busy, it will execute a next task. If all thread created and it's busy, then it will create a new thread for perform operation. Okay. Here let's consider, here instead of this 100 tasks, here we have 1000 tasks. Okay. And instead of these 4 people, here we don't have a fix, here we don't have a plan, only doing these 4 people. These 4 people already wrapping one card, then 5th people came and that 5th people also joined these 4 people, and then 6 people, then 7 people. Then here there is no guarantee how many people join for doing this task. Okay. Here that means the second scenario is a cache thread pool. Depend on a cache memory, here increase and decrease thread size. Okay, let's see all this in a practically. I'll simply open Eclipse and I'll simply create here new class, and I'll give this class name part65. And here first we create a one thread. I'll simply create a thread class, and I'll give this class name demo65, and this class extend. Okay, this class extend thread class, this class extend thread class, and here we call main, here we call a run method, public void run method. When we create a threading, that time we have to write whatever logic, whatever, when we start threading, that time we need execute some code. That code we write inside a run method, because when we start thread, that time thread execute this run method. Okay, let's write here one statement, system.out.println, and here we simply print thread name. Okay, simply print here thread name. And in a last video we only saw how to create a thread name, thread dot current thread dot get name. Okay, that means whatever current thread, we are simply getting that current thread name here. Then here I'll simply create a main method, and inside a main method, here you can see in this document, here we have to use this executor service, and inside the executors we have a few methods. Here we have a new fixed thread pool, then we have a new cache thread pool. Okay, let's perform one by one this practical. I'll simply perform this first, executor service, then executor. I'll simply create this executor service. Okay, then I'll simply give this executor equal to, here you can see equal to executors dot, here we have a so many methods. Here you can see this all static method. Okay, here we simply using a fixed thread pool. Okay, let's see fixed thread pool, and here we can simply pass here fixed thread number. Here I need only 4 people. Okay, you can see I need only 4 thread work for all these tasks. Okay, then I'll simply create here. Okay, I'll simply create here for loop for int I equal to 1, I less than equal to 100, and then I plus plus. Okay, here we simply call, here you can see, here we simply call executor. Okay, let's see here, executor dot, here we have a execute method. Inside the execute method we can simply pass this thread object. Okay, for that we have to create this thread object. Okay, here we simply create a thread object. Okay, instead of creating here, I'll simply create here a new, then I'll simply give this demo65. Okay, that means here we simply create this thread object and we pass that thread object inside this execute method. Okay, let's save this. Here we already define only 4 people can do this work. Okay, only 4 people can do this work. Okay, I'll simply run this program. Okay, let's see. I'll simply run as a Java application, and here you can see here first task take second person, then first person, okay, then so, and then second, then third, then fourth. Okay, this way this threading, this all thread inside a pool one. Okay, here we create a just one thread pool. Okay, I'll simply run this task one more time. I'll run this program one more time. Okay, you can see only this four thread working on this total task. Total 100, we have a total 100 task, and this only 4 person working on this total 100 task. Okay, if we execute, every time we got different output. Here we simply, here instead of 1 person doing this 100 task, here we simply assign a 4 person. Okay, here we simply assign a 4 person, and this 4 person only doing this task. Okay, let's assign here single, and then let's terminate this and again run, and you can see here only create a single thread. Okay, only single thread execute all 100 tasks. Okay, that means only single person do all these 100 tasks. Okay, I'll simply assign here instead of 1, I'll simply assign here 10 thread, and then I'll run this. Then you can see here 10 person do this task. Okay, 10 person do this work. Here we can simply provide a fixed number of thread size. Here we simply provide a fixed number of thread size. That many thread only create inside the thread pool, and that many thread only execute this total thread. Total, we can say total task. Here we simply provide 100 tasks. If we provide here 1000 tasks, then this 1000 task only complete this 4 person. Okay, then we have a second one, catch a thread pool. Okay, here thread creator depend on a requirement. If thread is already created and it's not busy, it will execute a next task. If all created thread is busy, then it will create a new thread for a perform a operation. Okay, here we simply use a method new catch a thread pool. Okay, let's copy this line. I'll simply copy that line, and I'll simply add here that method new catch a thread pool. Okay, here we don't pass anything. I'll simply comment this first one, new fixed thread pool, and here we don't pass anything because we know this one is creating by JVM. We are not creating how many thread will create. It's depend on a system, depend on a performance. Okay, let's save this and again run this. Okay, let's again run this. I'll simply run this application, and you can see here this time this thread pool create a total 68, I think 68 thread it's created. Okay, if I run this again, you can see this time it's create a max 41, 42, 47 thread. Okay, then if I run this again, you can see this time it's create, every time it's create depend on system performance, depend on a requirement. It's create any number of thread. We can't control here, we can't control thread size. Okay, depend on a system performance, it will create a dynamically thread. Sometime it will create a 10 thread, sometime it will create 100 thread. It's not, we can't control that. So here thread creator depend on a requirement, depend on a catch a thread pool. Okay, here we simply saw second point also, catch a thread pool. Okay, then third one we have a schedule thread pool. Here execute those tasks those want to execute after certain time delay. Here short time duration task execute first in a queue. Here sorting task, here sorting task time wise. Here we have a 3 method. Here simply we already know, here we have a thread queue, all task put inside the thread queue, and thread pool pick one by one task from thread queue. Inside a thread queue, that time all task add, that time only thread queue sort those tasks time wise. Okay, Here we have for performing this scheduled thread pool, here we have a three method. First one is a scheduled, then scheduled at a fixed rate, then scheduled at a fixed delay. Okay, let's do this as a practically. Okay, I'll simply comment this. I'll simply comment, or I'll simply, okay, I'll simply comment this all code. Okay, then I'll simply create a new here scheduled executor service. Okay, let's create here scheduled executor service. Okay, then SCE equal to, here we have a executor dot new scheduled thread pool. Here we have a executors dot new scheduled thread pool, and here we simply pass size, that thread pool size. Okay, here we need to pass 3. Here we need to pass 3, and I'll simply perform one by one. Okay, here first perform first method. For performing first method, we need to pass service. Okay, let's create here SCE dot, here we have a first method scheduled. Okay, let's add here scheduled, and inside the schedule, here we simply pass here callable. Okay, that means we simply pass here this thread name. Okay, new demo. Okay, let's pass here demo 65. Then here we pass delay, after how many delay we need to execute that task. Then here we have a time unit. Let's put time unit. Inside a time unit, you can see here we have a day, hours, microsecond, millisecond, all this. I'll simply put this seconds. Okay, and after 5 seconds I need to start this execution. Okay, let's save this, and I'll simply clean this, and I'll simply run this program, and you can see here, wait 5 seconds, and you can see here you got this output. This one is only execute one time. Okay, because here we simply added a only after 5 seconds execute. Okay, let's comment. I'll simply terminate this. Let's comment this, and we have two more method. Okay, let's see, we have two more method, service dot scheduled at a fixed rate. Okay, let's use this SCE dot service dot at fixed rate. Okay, here we need to pass a few things. First we need to pass here thread class demo 65. Then here we need to pass initially delay. Initially I need 10 seconds. Then after every 2 seconds this will be execute. Okay, then here time. Okay, let's time unit dot second. Okay, let's save this and run this. Here you can first understand, here first one is our thread class name, then this one is our initial time when our program execute start. This one is our initially 10-second delay. Then after every 2 seconds this will be continuously calling, this will be continuously execute. Okay, let's save and let's run this, and you got here output. Let's wait 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds is too much. Okay, let's wait 10 seconds. Here you can see, here we got first output, and this one is getting after every 2 seconds. Here you can see after every 2 seconds this one is hitting this one is creating a, this one is calling this run method. Okay, this one is calling this thread. Okay, here we saw this second method. Then here we have one more method in a schedule. Third method is scheduled at a fixed delay. Okay, schedule at a fixed delay. Here we simply call SCE dot schedule at fixed delay. Here you can see, here you can read this one also. Okay, let's see. Here first we need to pass this thread name new demo 65. Okay, then here we need to pass initial delay. Okay, initial delay. Here we simply pass initial delay 5. Then here we pass every after 2 seconds. Then time unit dot second, time unit dot seconds. Okay, here you can see difference between this one is the only initially wait, this one is the only initially wait 10 seconds. Okay, but this one is the wait the first task, first thread complete, then wait 5 seconds. Okay, the first thread complete, then wait 5 seconds, and this one is the only after 5, only after 10 seconds it will be continuously executed. It will not check previous thread is completed or not, but this second one is a check previous thread is completed or not. If previous thread complete, then after 5 seconds this will execute, this will start execute. Okay, I'll simply comment this first one and I'll simply run again this, and you can see wait 5 seconds. Okay, then okay, every after every 2 seconds it will execute. Okay, first thread, this thread complete, then wait 5 seconds, then this one execute, then wait again 5 seconds, then this, and so on. Okay, let's terminate this. Here we saw this 3 method. We can use this 3 method for if you have any requirement for a certain time or for a certain duration. This thread should be executed, this thread pool should be executed, then we can use this thread scheduler. Okay, schedule execute service. Okay, okay, then fourth one we have a single thread pool. Single thread executor is the same like a fixed thread pool. Here only thread size is only one. Here you can see in this example, here we can simply use a new fixed thread pool, and here we pass a single thread size and it will become a single thread pool. Here if any task throw exception, and because that exception thread killed, thread terminate, then JVM immediately create a new thread and continue thread execution. It will not terminate, it will not stop because the thread termination. If we want to execute a task sequentially, then we can simply use this single thread pool. Okay, let's see here practically. I'll simply create, you can see initially this one is the only single thread pool. Okay, let's copy this same, and instead of 4 here we can simply pass 1, and again I'll copy this task for loop and I'll paste here, and let's uncomment this. Okay, this one become a single thread pool. Okay, here we simply pass a single thread size, single thread, that means this become a single thread pool. Okay, let's comment this line and let's save and run this, and you can see only single thread execute for all these tasks. Let's see the next point. Here we have a types of queue. Here you can see, here we already saw, here you can see here this blocking queue. What is use of queue here? Queue means whatever we task create, those all tasks store inside queue, and this thread pool pick one by one task inside from this queue. Okay, initially whatever task we create, this all tasks store inside a queue, and this thread pick one by one task from this queue. Okay, so let's see, here we have a few different types of queue. First one we have a linked blocking queue. This queue not have a same size, depend on a task its size increase and each block link in each other. Okay, here we can simply say depend on a size, this link block queue size increase and decrease, and each block linked each other. Okay, this one we use with fixed thread pool and a single thread pool. Then we have a synchronized queue. These are unbounded, those no need to store the task, there we can use simply this synchronized queue. We don't handle which queue we should use, this internally handle. We don't define there I need to use a linked block queue, I need to use a synchronized queue. Only JVM decide which queue should be used, depend on our requirement, depend on our thread queue. Okay, thread pool. Synchronized queue is a queue with a single slot. Here in a linked blocking queue, here we have a multiple slot and multiple tasks stored at the same time, but synchronization queue here only store a single slot and here only store a single task. Okay, here in this video we saw thread pool and then we saw thread pool queue. All this topic we saw in this video. Next video we will see next topic. Till that, bye bye.